Welcome back. The Sickle Cell Warriors of Buffalo strive to raise awareness and provide education of sickle cell disease in our local Buffalo community. And I'm joined now by advocates Jason and Matrice with how they're preparing for World Sickle Cell Day. Welcome, you two. Thanks for joining me.
Happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. I would love it if you could start off explaining to our viewers what sickle cell disease is, because a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of it.
Okay. Sickle cell disease is an inherited condition. Sickle cell trait from people with sickle cell trait, the carriers, affected in people of African heritage. And also could affect other groups like Latino, Middle Eastern, Indian, Caribbean, Southern European people. But sickle cell disease is a blood disorder that affects the red blood cells, and the healthy red blood cells that are round. And a sickle cell are sickle shape, and sickle cell occurs when the hemoglobin S make the red cells rigid, and it'd be like a banana cell, so the oxygen does not flow. So it clumps together, and it blocks blood flow, and it breaks down the heavier cells that are flowing through your body, and it damages the blood vessels. And people with sickle cell, they suffer from anemia, from some severe pain, jaundice with yellowing of the eyes, and it affects the blood, and it can have infections like sepsis. And it can be, it could affect the lungs, and people with sickle cell have strokes because the blood's not flowing, and it does organ damage, and people, it affects pregnancies. People with sickle cell have
Just bad.
Let's talk a little bit about the Sickle Cell Warriors of Buffalo and how this got started.
Yeah, so we all started back in 2022. Juanita is the president, myself, I'm the vice president. We've been, there was a lady that was running everything before, but she ended up passing away. So once we came to find this out, we started really trying to link back together and really build up the resources, because we know there's families out here that need us, and we need them. So.
That's right. Do you want to share a little bit about your story and what led you to, joining and being a part of Sickle Cell Warriors?
Oh yeah. So with sickle cell, you're born with it. It's not something you can catch or anything like that. And so since I'm just hit 40 in December, and I've been the sickle cell poster child here in Buffalo before. I'm normally in like a 5 out of 10 pain every single day. So even while Patrice was reading, I'm over here shifting and everything because my blood's acting up right now. So, but it's, with sickle cell, it is a very different and difficult disease. It's the most inherited blood disorder in the world, yet we're the least resourced. But me personally, I've been on my supposed deathbed in and out so many times, but with this resilience and this team and support group that we have here in Buffalo and family, we're all ready to go and just keep pushing forward. Just happy to be here.
Yeah. Patrice, tell us a little bit about what inspired you to become an advocate and get involved in this organization.
Well, I learned the hard way about sickle cell because I had a son with sickle cell disease, and he suffered throughout his life with pain and agony, and he since passed away in 2018. And I vowed to still carry on his name and support the other people who have sickle cell disease and be an advocate for the disease, because it's not readily known in the community what sickle cell is and what the sickle cell advocates go through. So I just want to be a spokesperson and an advocate and a support system for people like Jason, Juanita, Mariah, and Drew, some sickle cell warriors that I know, and I want to make sure I'm supporting them throughout their
journey.
Yes.
Let's talk about World Sickle Cell Day. When is that happening, and what are you doing to celebrate?
So that's June 19th as well, so Juneteenth Day. So, we'll be at the Delavan Grider Community Center. We're starting everything off with a blood drive with the Red Cross. We have a great partnership with them. And so that starts at 10:30 and goes till 4:30. And still in the same vicinity at 1 o'clock, we have our support group appreciation that goes from 1 to 4. And that's more of a mindful health wellness kind of event and push back too as well. so we can get everybody in there. There's going to be face painting, massages, yoga, food everywhere. It's going to be a happy time and happy place for everybody, because with sickle cell, you have so much pain and so much going on mentally and physically. It's time to just kick back, relax, and be celebrated at the same time while giving blood. You know, in the Black and brown communities, it's harder to find a match.
Yeah.
So we need everybody to come out, just give and have a great time.
Yeah, I can speak to this. My Uncle Keith was very, very close with him growing up, and he had sickle cell. And he was not given a long lifespan, like it sounds like what you, and he was able to live up until his 50s. But, you know, I watched him his whole life struggling and in pain every day and having strokes and constantly being in and out of the hospital. And these blood transfusions that he had ultimately is what helped him live a longer life than expected.
Yes.
So giving blood like this is so important. Tell us how our viewers can support you in other ways or learn more information about Sickle Cell Warriors of Buffalo.
We have a website, Sickle Cell Warriors of Buffalo, and our biggest event is September 6th, the Sickle Cell Walk, where we have information and activities and support for the Sickle Cell Warriors. You'll be able to meet some of the Sickle Cell Warriors at the walk and learn about sickle cell disease and meet some of the staff and the doctors and the patients that suffer from sickle cell disease.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming in, sharing your stories, and bringing light to this important disease. Viewers, if you'd like to stay up to date on all of their events, you can sign up for monthly newsletters from the Sickle Cell Warriors by visiting their website, scwbuffalo.org. Thanks again for coming in.
Yes.